Okay, let's take a look at this. So, balance adjustment 7.7.12. All right, reason for adjustment. What a fucking god developer, right? Great game. Puts rationale out in their patch notes. That's just fantastic. At present, when the MMR is below 2400, Steel Ball and Mustang combo has the highest usage rate and win rate. And when MMR is above 2400, Vulcan and Marksman combo has the highest usage rate and win rate. The goal of this patch is to make Steel Ball easier to counter and make Vulcan less irreplaceable. It's super nice to see that defined so clearly. All right, arc lights. Attack interval adjusted from 1.2 to 1.1, so it is faster. Attack adjusted from 396 to 346. I don't know what that breakpoint is, but what is that in damage? This is like, it's 850s for that, and they drop it by 50, so 1/8 of their damage gone. I mean, that seems like a buff, right? Attack speed is good for arc lights. They're an AoE unit versus small stuff. They generally overkill. Their damage breakpoints, you'd have to go math out to see what this actually changed, like if it changes the number of hits per tank or something like that. But overall, that seems like a small buff to arc lights. All right, Vulcan. I mean, that's not a very big attack rate, right? Increase. There's 12 intervals there, and there's just by one of those intervals. So anyway, so a bigger nerf to damage than increase to attack rate, but attack rate is it's better stat. All right, Vulcan. Vulcan attack adjusted from 86 to 85. Don't know if that changes any breakpoints either. That seems meaningless to me, but maybe it's like the difference between one hitting a crawler or something. All right, Marksman attack adjusted from 2271 to 2248. Again, don't know what that means. It's obviously a decrease in damage, but what's the point of that particular decrease? Makes him a little less efficient versus killing big guys, I guess. But it's not a very big decrease in damage. Does this change the shots to hit like a Phoenix or another Marksman or an Arclight or something? Again, I almost need to review these patch notes with a spreadsheet which has each unit in a column and then has like hits to kill versus certain number of. I could build that spreadsheet if I play this game long enough. I wonder if I will. It's an interesting idea. Kind of be cool. All right, Steel Ball. The XP required for leveling up has been adjusted from 750 to 780. Cool. Reinforcement cards subsidized Steel Ball adjusted from level 1 to level 2. I didn't know there were levels to the reinforcement cards. That's good. Is that cost then? Or like when they appear? I guess I did know there were levels because there's cost. That must mean it's 100 instead of 50 now. Okay, it's good. Subsidized Steel Ball was pretty stupid. The cost of Mechanical Division adjusted from 300 to 350. So we were playing on this patch. A number of color generated adjusted from 7 to 5. All right. So Steel Ball's got really nerfed here. Harder to snowball their experience. More expensive to use the reinforcement card. And the cost and effect of Mechanical Division nerfed. Good. Okay. All right, Fortress. The cost of Rocket Punch adjusted from 300 to 250. Trigger conditions of Rocket Punch adjusted from 4070 to 5585. I've not used this ability yet. I've seen a couple fists fly around, but I haven't seen anyone play it seriously, so I have no idea if that was needed or not, but looks like it probably was. Other adjustments: slightly reduced matchmaking time, slightly increased MMR change between game. The speed up vote now appears sooner during the battle. These are all great changes. Bug fixes fishing issue where players can only gain experience 30 times a day. Huh, I didn't know that was an issue, and fix some typos. Yeah, it seems like a small but pretty solid patch. Seems great. Nice adjustments to the literally logged on this morning complaining that everything is Ball Mustang, and then we see a nerf to Ball. I don't actually see him nerf the Mustang though, which is interesting. Mustangs are really solid. With Vulcans, and this is a Vulcan nerf, huh? How is that a Vulcan nerf? I mean, I see the Marksman nerf. It's a small amount of damage. That doesn't feel like a Vulcan nerf to me. Like I really wonder what breakpoint they're playing around there, because that doesn't seem like anything. -1 damage on the Vulcan. Yeah. I mean, the Arclight buff is clearly there, as they say, to give an alternative to the Vulcan for clearing out chaff. Whether or not it does, I don't know. All right, cool. Yeah, I think to evaluate those patches, I'm gonna have to build that spreadsheet. I wonder if I want to do that or not. Damage for Vulcan could be around the Vulcan with plus attack tech. You're saying a 25% increase of 1 is going to make the difference between that's the balancing. They were balancing it around that. I don't think the difference between 125% damage of 85 is any different than the difference of the damage of 125% of 86. Splash damage is a bitch in the spreadsheet. I guess I don't know how splash damage works. Is it not the... It's not full damage when it splashes? I assumed it was full. Is it not full? Chat. Vulcan base damage nerf is big because percent damage in items is big. Please think for a second. The difference between 85 and 86 with any levels of multiples is still not relevant. You're not going to get more than like 5 times multiplier. Is 5 damage different here? It seems very, very small. So why the repeated push that 85 to 86 is a big damage change when you run out multipliers? It really doesn't feel like it is, unless there's something that I don't understand about how that behaves. I think it's a breakpoint thing, right? Because I mean, like if we look at the Vulcan now doing a measly 85 as opposed to the Chad 86 of before. Like, what the fuck? Who cares? Yeah, level 2 you double that. Okay. Attacks per second matter. That's fair. That's a really good point. So here the attack interval. So it's more than 1 damage then. By 10, right? Because you attack 10 per second. I mean, for DPS, but does it change how it behaves? I'm not sure it matters how it behaves. I guess this makes it, I mean, slightly worse versus the... Is that true? I'm not sure it matters at all. Yeah, I don't think a 1 damage out of 86 is a significant change to how this behaves unless they're playing breakpoints. And I don't think it matters if you multiply by 1.25, and I don't think it matters, this is an increase, so I guess this is by 2.25, and I don't think it matters if you multiply by like 4 when it's level 2. Maybe you start to see that when you do all of those things, when you're firing against a larger target for extended periods of time, when your guy is like level 4 and you have a Scorching Flame upgrade and you have an amp core, maybe then it starts to matter. But it doesn't seem like much, does it? Anyway.